Jill from the Russell County Public Library again. We're back. Last week we talked about some real basic sewing things. And this week we had a lot of requests to do a little bit more. So we're going to use some of what we learned last week and make us a very basic pillow, square pillow, made out of just anything that you have. You can use a t-shirt, you can use fabric, scraps, whatever, just as long as the two pieces are cut the same size. So let's go over to the table and let's start us a pillow. Okay, now we're going to get our fabric and we're going to cut two squares that are just the same size. Doesn't matter how big or how little, whatever fits you. We're going to put our right side of the fabric together. Line it up. And then if you're going to do it by hand, you do the back stitch. That was the stitch that you went in one and came back a half. It is a nice tight stitch. Or if you do it by the sewing machine, we're going to use it. We're going to use our ruler and we'll measure in about a half of an inch and you can mark it. You can mark it all the way around if you want. If you're using a sewing machine, you won't have to. You'll use your guides. And then you'll pin it all the way around if you need to. And then you will sew all the way around, all corners, except you're going to leave a little spot right on the top where you're going to stuff it. And when you get to the points where this opening is, you need to, if you're on a sewing machine, you need to back stitch so it's a little bit stronger. Or if you're doing it by hand, do a little extra stitch right there so it's nice and strong, because we're going to pull this inside out or outside in so that we can stuff our pillow. Okay? The next step would be to sew it. Now we have our pillow stitched all the way around and we've got our pins marking our opening. So when we turn it, we don't want to have a lot of bulk in the corners. So you want to cut each of those corners, cut that diagonal off. Okay. Then we'll take our pins out and turn the pillow right side. I picked this fabric because one of my friends has zebra in one of her bedrooms, so I'm going to make her a zebra pillow. Now when you get to the corners, you want to make sure you get those out nice and straight. Each of the four corners has to come out. Okay. Okay, now pull it apart, straighten it, and if you have an iron, you might want to iron it so it lays nice and flat. And you can see our opening is right there where we're going to stuff it. Now the next step is to stuff it. Okay. We've got our pillow almost stuffed. It's looking pretty good. Add a little more. You want to make it nice and tight. Stuffing the pillow is kind of a good stress releaser. You can just kind of push and shove. Okay, now There's that opening again. So let's kind of pin it shut. This will kind of hold it in place as we stitch it closed. Now, like we did last week, you're going to have to thread your needle. Leave one edge longer than the other. And knot your thread. You remember how we did that? Twist it around your finger and just kind of pull. There's our knot. Now we're going to put the knot in that opening just past where we were stitching. Get it up in the stitching. And you just hold the two pieces together and just go through both of them and come up. And just keep, we call this the whip stitch. It's just a little, catch both parts of the fabric. Okay, we are almost to the end. When you get to that very last stitch, you want to put your needle in and come out, and then we're going to knot it. So that circle that's left, pull your needle right through it and it'll pull a knot. And let's do it twice. Now when you're sewing your pillow, you'll be tempted to make this hole really little. But you don't want it too little because then it makes it really hard to turn. Okay, here is our finished product. No matter what age you are, you can try this. It won't take long. And since we have a little more time than we have had lately, we can do some of these projects. Just a simple little sewing project. Give it a try. Work with one of your friends or work with your mom, whoever you live with. Maybe they can help you or maybe they can make one with you. So we hope you do try, and we'll see you next week. Bye.